welcome back to my channel. I am super excited about this video today. It's going to be the first video of my holiday series. You guys have really been requesting holiday meal ideas, so that's what this video is for. And if you're new to my channel and you want to know more about how I lost 70 pounds on a plant-based diet and have kept it off, then make sure you check out my maximum weight loss playlist that I will link for you guys in the description box below. And if you are not following me on Instagram, make sure you head over there and follow me as well. I'm always posting food and lifestyle inspiration there, and I'm constantly posting to my stories as well. And High Carb Hannah and I are almost done with our weight loss program. We will be launching that at or before the new year, so be looking for that. We are super excited, and if you don't follow my girl High Carb Hannah, make sure you follow her because she is full of information. Her channel is full of inspirational videos and recipe ideas as well. All right, so today I'm going to show you guys a bunch of Thanksgiving sides. I like to keep things simple and as healthy as possible, but it is the holidays, so I do allow for a little more decadence. All right, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a classic green bean casserole, as well as my gravy and mashed potatoes, and this gorgeous harvest salad. And I'm also gonna be showing you guys how to make some fun drinks for you and the kiddos. All right, let's get cooking. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is get the crispy onions together. So I like to use a sweet onion. All I'm gonna do is slice this nice and thin, and then I'm gonna show you how we're gonna get them crispy. And then I'm gonna cut them really nice and thin. All right, so now the onions are cut, so I'm just gonna put them into this bowl and just kind of separate them. Oh, dang it, my hair, guys. It's a professional setup here. Ooh, and wear goggles because the onions are strong. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this powdered egg replacer. It's gluten-free. I love this stuff. I will link it in the description box for you guys. So I'm just gonna take like a tablespoon of that and just sprinkle it on here. You can also use ground flaxseed if you can't get your hands on that. I just love that stuff because it's already done. You're just gonna toss them and coat them. And then I'm just gonna take a little plant milk. You can use whatever plant milk you like. We're just gonna kind of coat them just a little bit. All you need is like a tablespoon, just enough to kind of get these coated. And then I'm gonna add about a half a cup of panko. If you're gluten-free, you can use gluten-free breadcrumbs. All right, and then I'm gonna add about a half a teaspoon of garlic salt. And if you're salt-free, you can of course leave that off and just use a little garlic powder. All right, so now I'm gonna pop this in my air fryer. Okay, so now I'm gonna put these onions in my air fryer. And you can do this in your oven if you don't have an air fryer. You just want to spread them out good. And I'm going to actually sprinkle some more breadcrumbs on there. That's going to be a lovely mess for me to clean up. Look at that. All right, so it's set to air fry. You can set the temp, like I'll probably just do 425, and we'll put it on for 30 minutes, but it probably will only take about 15. All right, so for the gravy, I'm just gonna cut half of a small onion. I'm gonna dice that up, and then I've got 16 ounces of mushrooms washed. So now I'm just gonna dice the onion, and I'll show you how to put the gravy together. All right, so I have now heated up my pan on medium-high heat, and I'm just gonna add the half an onion and the 16 ounces of mushrooms, and I'm gonna cook them down with a little bit of water and garlic salt. All right, now the mushrooms are nice and cooked down, so I'm gonna transfer them to the blender and show you how I blend them up. All right, so I'm gonna add the mushrooms to my blender with a little bit of soy milk, and I'm gonna blend them up so that we get a nice creamy gravy. If you like a chunkier gravy, then don't blend it up as much. All right, so now I'm gonna add a half a cup of soy milk. You can use any plant milk you like. I just think soy milk makes the creamiest gravy. Okay, and so it's made just kind of like this mushroom paste. Now I'm gonna put it back in the pan and show you how to finish this gravy up. All right, so I'm gonna get this into this deeper pan here. Okay, so to this, I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of salt, and I may adjust that later, and you can of course do all of this to taste. I'm gonna do half a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, half a teaspoon of onion powder, and half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then I'm just gonna add a little freshly ground pepper and mix it up. All right, and I'm gonna set that aside. So now I'm gonna thicken the gravy with soy milk and flour. And if you're gluten-free, you can do this. You can thicken the gravy with cornstarch instead, and I will put the instructions for that in with the recipe as well. So here I've got 3 cups of soy milk. And again, you can use almond milk or whatever milk you like. I just think soy milk works the best. And then I'm gonna add a half a cup of flour. And you wanna slowly whisk in the flour so there's no clumps. So now I'm just gonna get this on the stove heating up again, and we're gonna add this and adjust any seasonings. All right, so I've got the gravy mixture starting to bubble. So now I'm gonna slowly add this plant milk and flour mixture and whisk it in, and it's gonna thicken up as it boils. Okay, so we wanna bring it up to a boil and let it boil for a couple minutes just to get rid of that raw flour taste. And you want to keep whisking it as it boils so that nothing sticks to the bottom. All right, so this has been boiling for about 3 minutes, and it only takes about 3 to 5 minutes to get that raw flour flavor out of there. So now I'm going to adjust my seasonings, and at this point, if you like a runnier gravy, you can whisk in a little more plant milk. We like a really thick gravy, so this is going to be perfect for us. So this is where I like to add a little more ground pepper, a little more poultry seasoning, and a little more salt. And this is so customizable, guys. You guys can, get this tasting to your liking. I will put exactly what I'm doing in the recipe for you guys. All right, so now for the green bean casserole. It's super simple. I've lightly steamed 2 bags of frozen green beans. You can do whatever cut or style green bean you like. We like these long whole ones. And there's my ring. So I've just lightly steamed them, and I'm spreading them into a 9x13 dish. And now I'm gonna take some of the gravy we just made and just pour it in. And just put on as much as you want. I'm using about 2 cups. All right, and now I've got the onions from the air fryer. See, they got nice and crispy. And I'm gonna put these on top, and then I'm gonna pop this back in the oven for about 10 minutes. All right, so before I pop it in the oven, I'm gonna throw on a little bit more of these breadcrumbs just to make sure there's a nice crunch over everything. And then I'll season it just a little more with some garlic salt. All right, so now I'm gonna pop it in the oven at 425 for about 10 minutes. Okay, so for mashed potatoes, it's super simple. I'm just gonna take these huge russet potatoes that my kids have peeled, and I'm gonna toss them into my Instapot. Now, Instapot does sell a steaming basket, but I never spent the money on one. I just throw my potatoes in there, and they still steam up just fine. All right, so after you get your potatoes in there, you wanna add about a cup of water, and then I'm gonna put the lid on. And then I'm just gonna hit the steam setting, and I'm gonna set it to 30 minutes because I want these potatoes to be really, really nice and mushy. I want this to do the bulk of the work for me. All right, so I'm gonna let those cook and then I'll show you how I put them together. All right, the potatoes are done. All right, so you want the potatoes to be really soft. See, this just like goes in super easy. So I'm just gonna move these potatoes over into my mixing bowl, and so you want them to be really, really soft. Okay, so I'm just gonna add my paddle attachment. I'm gonna just add a few teaspoons of salt and some ground pepper. If you guys have spent any time on my channel, you know, like I put garlic in everything. So we love garlicky mashed potatoes. So I will put like how much of everything I use, but you're gonna have to adjust it to your taste. All right, so now I'm gonna start with half a cup of soy milk. Again, you can use whatever plant milk you like. I just think soy milk gives you the creamiest result. That out. Those are some nice creamy mashed potatoes. Okay, for this harvest salad, I'm going to chop up about a cup of these raw pecans. Now I'm gonna caramelize these pecans with a little maple syrup, and it is just the most wonderful addition to this fall salad. Okay, so now I'm gonna take all of these pecans and put them into a non-stick pan. All right, and so to this, I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. So I'm just gonna mix that up, and then let's go over to the stove. All right, so now I'm over at the stove, and I'm going to turn this burner on to about medium high, more high than medium. And I'm just gonna sit here and kind of move them around. It's only gonna take a few minutes. You don't wanna burn the pecans. You just want them to kind of toast up and caramelize with the maple syrup. See, and you can hear the maple syrup starting to boil. So you just wanna keep moving the pecans around. So what you're looking for is that maple syrup to kind of cook down, so you can see that there's not a lot of it around anymore, and it's still kind of sizzling, and you just want these pecans to start to toast. And once they start to toast, you want to move them quickly off onto a plate so that they don't keep cooking, because nuts can burn really easily. So you should start to smell a more toasted nut smell. So then you just want to let them go another 30 seconds to a minute, and then we'll get them off. All right, so now the pecans are nice and done and toasted, so I'm gonna let these cool. Guys, don't skip the nuts on the salad. It is such a delicious addition to the salad, and these caramelized pecans taste like everything that is Thanksgiving. Okay, so now I'm gonna start to put together the salad. So I'm just gonna take some spring greens. You can use whatever greens you like, but I love spring greens, and I love the color in them. Okay, so to the greens, I'm gonna add some red onion. Some nice thin slices. Sprinkle those guys in. Then I'm gonna add some cucumber. Then I'm gonna add some Honeycrisp apple. Now I love Honeycrisp apples. They taste like apple cider. They're my absolute favorite in this salad. And then I'm gonna take some sweet potato that I already baked the other day, and I'm just gonna peel it and cube it up. Now I already warmed this up in the microwave, so it's slightly warm because I don't like cold sweet potato in my salad. You want it to be at least room temperature. All right, now I'm gonna add some pomegranate seeds. Now I had my kids shuck these for me outside the other day because I hate shucking pomegranates and they love it. So put some of those on there. And then last but not least, we're gonna add the pecans. And there you go, look at that gorgeous salad. Now, as far as dressings go, I am in love with this cranberry pear balsamic vinegar from Rocky Mountain Olive Oil Company. This is just balsamic vinegar, it has no oil in it. I will link this for you guys in the description box. This is so sweet and delicious. You could just drink it as is. So we will just put this over the salad without anything, but you can mix it into a little hummus to cut the acidity if you want. But I am telling you, this is amazing. And the cranberry pear is like the perfect complement to this. So again, I will link this in the description box for you guys so that if you want to order it, you can get it to you before the holidays. Okay, the other option for dressing that goes really, really well with this is just the simple maple mustard dressing. So all I'm gonna do is take Dijon mustard, and all this dressing is equal parts Dijon mustard and maple syrup. So I'm just gonna squeeze some Dijon in here, and then I'm gonna put an equal amount of maple syrup in, and then mix that up. And that makes a really, really delicious dressing, and the mustard and maple go so well with the sweet potato and the apples and the greens. You can also add a little smoked paprika to this and make it a smoky dressing if you like as well. Okay, so for this holiday mocktail, it's really simple. My kids love it. So I'm just gonna take a little of this white grape juice and just pour a little into the cup. It's just enough to sweeten it. And then I love this LaCroix, and this flavor is the Raz Cranberry, which is perfect for Thanksgiving. So I'm just gonna add that in. And then I'm just gonna add a little spoonful of pomegranates. And that's it. Alright guys, that is it for me today. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of these delicious sides. Make sure to tune in to next week's video. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these gorgeous main dishes that will impress all of your family. Alright, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.